Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Mrdoctorwhofan13's video. This is take 2 of a first impression video on Doctor Who Series 8, Episode 4, Listen. Now, this one took me even longer to make than it did for Robot of Sherwood, because I've been back at college recently, and also Listen is one that took me ages to get a final opinion on. I am really not sure about this one. Well, my thoughts are all over the place, really. But anyway, so yes, Listen, written by Steven Moffat, directed by Douglas McKinnon. That was my computer laptop, sorry about that, but anyway, ignoring that. I'm not sure what to make of this one. Well, I wasn't when it first broadcast. So I watched the episode on its live broadcast. I liked it, or at least I thought I did. I watched it again, my opinion changed. The more I thought about it, the more mixed my thoughts were. There were things that I liked in this story and things that I didn't like. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's mediocre. First of all, Capaldi was absolutely brilliant, as usual, as a Doctor. Steven Moffat's writing for him was absolutely brilliant. His speech at the beginning actually gave me chills. I'm trying to think what else. But yeah, so Capaldi was magnificent. The comedy was really well done. I laughed at a lot of the jokes here. I'm sort of talking about the good stuff first. I really did like the direction by Douglas McKinnon, you know, with like the scary parts, the suspenseful parts, because he previously directed The Sometime Stratagem, The Poison Sky, The Power of Three, and Cold War. And the direction, the experience from directing Cold War really shows here, because, like, you know, with the suspense and everything, it's similar to that, you know, atmospheric feeling you got in Cold War, and that's what I really like. It actually makes the scenes tense. Now, as for the stuff that I didn't like, well, I also liked what the episode was trying to convey, you know, like, there's probably something there in the dark, we might not be alone. But as for everything else, right, the stuff I didn't like. Danny Pink. Now, Samuel Anderson gives a great performance in this story, like he did in Into the Dalek as Danny Pink. And I really thought that his performance was brilliant. But what I really didn't like about the story, where it just plummeted to the ground for me, is the fact that they tried to get Danny Pink's backstory and character development all out of the way in one single episode. Now, it would have been a heck of a lot more interesting if we would have learned slightly more about him as the series went along. Also, not to mention Clara. Jenna Coleman gives a great performance, but in this episode, Clara was a bitch to Danny on the date. It's like, not since Rose Tyler have I seen a character that bitchy. It really annoyed me. I thought the date scenes were just really rushed, and I really didn't like the date scenes. Like, also, one thing I really hated about this story, and that's getting on my nerves. Steven Moffat seems to think that every time he introduces a new character, oh, it has to have this timey-wimey effect to it that adds nothing to the story. It adds no effect. It was good back in like 2005, 2010, but this is 2014. Come on, Moffat, you don't need to do that. Remember in Blink, when you had regular characters like Sally Sparrow and Larry, and remember back in The Empty Child when you introduced sorry, when you introduced new, like, just regular characters, like, I've forgotten her name now, Jamie's sister slash mother, really. You know, the girl in the fireplace, Madame de Pompadour. Yeah, the shit was named after her, but she was a normal person. The Doctor popped up in her life, but she had the... It's unoriginal. I'm getting sick of it. Moffat, it's pretty clear that if he isn't going to come up with nothing original, he needs to leave Doctor Who right now. His time has come. But no, he signed up for Series 9. But, yeah. Nothing against Stephen Moffat, I just think that he's not as original as he used to be. He's running out of ideas, and I know it's hard to think of original ideas, Stephen, but anything but the timey-wimey, please. Anything but the timey-wimey. Anyway. Also, going back to Danny Pink, I didn't like how, like, I thought it was annoying how, like, the Doctor and Clara had to inspire his life and everything. And also, whenever that ending, now spoiler alert here, that ending when Clara, like, just sort of talked to the Doctor as a kid who was sleeping in that barn that he went back to in the Day of the Doctor, as the War Doctor. And she was talking to... How did she know it was that same barn? How? Well, unless she looked at the coordinates or something, but it was never established. How did she know it was that barn? Also... Sorry, I'm trying to think. The fact that, you know, it's actually Clara, it was Clara who inspired the Doctor to do whatever, to travel the universe and everything. The fact that it was her that inspired him to do that, it's just... It's overkill. I mean, in the name of the Doctor, we had Clara cropping up everywhere in the Doctor's timeline. With any other companion it could have worked, but with Clara, this is overkill, Stephen. This is overkill. You see, it's just annoying. Clara has already popped up pretty much everywhere in the Doctor's timeline. Why do you need her to crop up in one more place? Also, it revealed a bit much about the Doctor, about, you know, what inspired him to travel to see the stars, because, like, he was forced to become a soldier, apparently. That could have had an effect on him, but it takes away the mystery. Doctor Who is losing its form of mystery now. Yeah, you can watch previous stories in a new light, but it just doesn't have the same impact. I don't know. But, yeah, so... That's my, I think... pretty much my thoughts on Listen. Yeah, so Listen. Had some good elements, had some bad elements to it. I'd give it 5 out of 10. Probably the weakest of Series 8 so far. Maybe a little bit better than Robot of Sherwood. I don't know. But... Listen was a mixed bag for me. It's watchable, nothing more. Nothing less. So, yeah. I didn't like Listen, but I didn't hate it either. Now, as for this week's story, Time Heist, I will not be able to watch a live broadcast because I will be out doing stuff. I'll be out at a party. My mum's friend's party. But I will be watching it Sunday on BBC iPlayer. Now, for Time Heist, I have low expectations for this. And by low, I mean rock bottom. Because it's been written by Steve Thompson and Stephen Moffat. Steve Thompson is good at writing Sherlock, but his Doctor Who work has been a disaster. A complete fucking disaster. He wrote The Curse of the Black Spot, which was quite possibly the worst episode story of Series 6, next to The Rebel Flesh and the Almost People. And he also wrote Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS for Series 7, which was quite possibly the worst story of Series 7, next to Asylum of the Daleks and the Snowmen. If you count the Snowmen. So, yeah. I'm not looking forward to Time Heist. I'll be surprised if it's any good, although if it is good, I'm blaming Stephen Moffat. So yeah. Has an interesting premise, I like the premise, but then again, Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS had a good premise. But, anyway, I'm not looking forward to Time Heist. I'm looking forward to getting it over with when watching it, but low expectations, man. Low expectations. Low. So yeah, it's going to be that for now. This is Mr. Mrdoctorwhofan13's saying word out. I'll see you next week for Time Heist.